Happy Monday again. We are coming back in from out of town. And I think, honestly, there's not a lot of strictly mental health specific stuff on my head today. One thing that's on my mind, which I'll probably talk about in a different video, is just the importance here of being able to, this combination of letting stuff roll off your back while also moving forward with things that need done. Long story short, I've just had some annoying issues with the business side of mental health running a practice. The therapeutic side's been pretty good, but just the running the business piece has hit some walls. And I think one of the biggest things that people, I think, overlook when they feel like life is just bearing down on them. And I'm going to say this with a caveat because I think some people might hear this and give a, well, not me answer, or I'm the excuse and I'm the exception. And the reality is you're not, more than likely. There are some exceptions, but so many people claim to be exceptions with things that it's not. But the ironic thing is I can't look at you right now and say you aren't an exception. I don't know. But it's best to start with a mindset of I'm not the exception. And what I would look at here, and let me be clear, specifically for negative thinking. For positive thinking, you can hype yourself up. You don't have to be crazy delusional, but you're like, sure, why not? Why not me? Why can't I be the exception and be successful in this or do well in this and find breakthrough in this? So for me, it's this mindset of if you just have time allocated on a regular basis towards whatever tasks you're doing, the stress of them goes away. For instance, I'll take personal life experiences lately of me. I love writing. I've been writing for forever. I mentioned last week I have a book that I've finished and am trying to publish, and now I'm in a editing phase, like I don't have it with me, like a book in hand, author's proof, edit it, and do some adjustments. And man, is it full. I thought it was like my naive self was like, this is ready to go, and then I'm about 60% the way through it, and it is full of problems. Formatting, but also just typos and other things that I want to adjust. And so, yeah, just full to the brim. I'm glad I didn't just go straight to publishing. So now I don't love this part of the process that much. I like just sitting down and writing ideas. So the back end process is annoying to me. So if you told me, hey, you got to write every day, that'd be easy. But the editing process every day is more of a chore. But what makes that easy is if I set aside a certain amount of time every day, even if it's only 10 minutes, I now can become confident that it'll get done because I know that there's time every day. It might take a long time, but if I set aside 5 hours a day, it's all the same. It'll get done. And if you're a busy person, I'm using this as an option because most people wouldn't be full-time writers. So if there's anything you're trying to do, or take running a business like I do, for example, and you're like, there's just so much I don't have time. There's a good chance you do have time. The issue is allocation, where you have a tendency to rush things at the end. So if you ever notice yourself rushed, like I had a moment yesterday actually where I had something I needed to get done for my job, and it was kind of backburned for a while. Like I kept putting it off, and the day finally came where it's like it has to be done now. And I was on a Sunday, and it wasn't what I was planning to do. And I just kind of looked at my wife. I'm like, I just put that off indefinitely. Now it's due, so I gotta do it. And so I can live a life like that consistently, or I can choose to look at that moment and say, okay, well, what got in the way there? Does this need to be recategorized? Because some things I just do daily. I review emails daily. I make sure clinical documentation is done daily. Whenever I do these videos, they're done on a Monday. Like they're structured. My gym days are structured. There's very rare days that are adjusted. Like I don't go to the gym Monday or Tuesday, and it's very rare that I lift weights on those days because they're not my gym days. And those are structured. And there's certain things in my life that have sat in the background. I'm like, man, I need to get that done. And the stress of getting them done pretty much disappears when they just have dedicated time every week or even every month, especially things that don't accumulate. So like if you've been wanting to write a book, in general, the book won't accumulate. Like there's not going to magically be more chapters. If you're wanting to get on a better sleep schedule, you can't make up your sleep, right? So every week that passes and you don't do that, it's kind of lost. There are things that accumulate. like paying your taxes and getting behind on tasks that need done or schoolwork or an essay. But a lot of things are one and done, or they have like set end dates, or they're just process driven, meaning it's about doing them that creates the growth or the outcome, not just outcome only. And what I mean by that is if you just do them a little bit over time, every day, or all at once, they'll get done. It doesn't really matter what days. So if you can take a little bit of time, you'll know in your mind when you start to feel some peace about it getting done. And sometimes it's dramatic. Like if you want to be, a first chair violin, and you assess the people you're up against, and you're like, okay, these are the players that are going to be there, these are the other performers and the violinists, and you sit down in the mirror and say, how much time do I need to dedicate to this? And you'll have an answer probably, because you might say, can I practice an hour a day and still get first chair? You're going to have this thought in the back of your mind. It's like, probably not. I'm going to be on the orchestra, but that's not going to get me first chair. And the reality might be 8 hours a day. That stuff gets intense. But you'll eventually hit a number where you're like, no, I'm confident if I commit that much time, I'll destroy this task. And that's kind of what you're looking for, is enough time that you're confident this will get done, that you'll catch up, that you'll stay on top of something. So I had a hiccup moment, and some things are one and done. And so for me on my schedule, which helps with my mind and preventing any type of anxiety or negative forethought, is I have task-based items, which means these are either recurring on a yearly basis or longer than a month. So anything that recurs on a longer than a month timeline, I consider task-based, and anything that is legitimately one and done. So it's something that once it's taken care of, it's indefinitely done. It might be an issue in the future. Some of these are like research this topic, reach out to this person, talk to this person, send an email about this, fix this thing at my house, do this item. Like it's just this is personal and professional, but they're just one and done things that all I have to do is do them and they're complete. And I have a whole separate, in Gmail, you can have a tasks app open. I don't know what you call it, the Google Workspace, but I think you get it without having full workspace. Like you have Google Docs and Google Sheets and stuff. Tasks comes with that, even if you just have a free Google Gmail account. So, and I just keep it all under my tasks bar under my business Gmail. And I just can have allocated time that I go through the tasks. And for me, as long as I feel like I'm moving through that list, great. And what I do is I add things on there that technically never need done. So it might be like there's something I need to call the state about, just to see about trainings that I can be hosting, which I do host trainings, but I want to see about options for making them a little bit more professional and counting as CEUs and things like that. And I can put that off forever and it will never have a noticeable negative impact on me. So something like that might not have a date unless I'm like adamant it needs to be done. And then other things like my liability insurance, which I renew every year, that one needs a date. So it might be that late June or July is coming around and I need to put on there, okay, this needs done by this day. I don't need that on the taskbar, 5 months before it's due. But as we're coming into those last 4 to 6 weeks, it should probably be added to the taskbar. So some of it looks like that. So I'll put a date on there, like get this done by 8/18. And usually I write it in there like 8/18, this thing. So I would just start, anything that you feel like you're getting behind on or it's not getting done, just put it in your calendar. And if you're like, it's not going to be enough, put whatever you can. So if you're trying to do a creative task or there's a work task that you keep putting off, we could talk for longer. I do one-on-one coaching with people for this type of thing where we clear out everything that gets in the way and we get them very task-oriented. And I've been able to see some really cool success with that. But in a broad sense, what I would say is just set anything and get the ball rolling. Set a 5-minute timer and just do it. And you can schedule it. It can be 4 days out from now. And you're like, I'm going to do this, or commit to doing 5 minutes a week for 4 weeks. It feels silly, but compared to doing nothing, doing 20 minutes over the course of a month, that's an improvement. So for whatever you're doing, that 20 minutes is probably not going to be enough of whatever, but just go for it and see what happens, because it can be a good stepping stone to get things going. So that'd be my recommendation. And there's trial and error. I gave the example of myself earlier because I really believe in this philosophy. There's always going to be moments where you're like, oh, shoot, this needed done, or this needed more from me, or the outside world is asking more from me unexpectedly. And this surprise came up, and I got to deal with it now, or it gets in the way of my rigid schedule that I made to help me. My flexible schedule got more complicated, whatever it is. Life happens. And so you just adjust and you ask yourself, was this a one-off event that just happens and I don't need to react in any way? Or was it just negligence? My thing was negligence. I just didn't schedule it properly. And so I get to reflect on that and be like, okay, be more intent. That's like a higher priority thing, Ryan, because you put it off. So it was a once a year thing that I had to do. So it won't be an issue again until next year. But it puts me in a position to know, all right, prioritize that a little bit differently next year. Simple enough. And you just adjust. So yeah, small steps, make it simple, don't overcomplicate it, and be willing to make adjustments. And I think your brain will thank you. It should reduce your anxiety if all goes well and help you feel organized and direction oriented, and also help you focus on current tasks. Because if you know things need done and you know in your mind that you've got that scheduled, like I know I'm going to work on it in 5 days or later today or tomorrow or weekly, then your brain can calm down. It will not necessarily for everyone in every way, but for a lot of us, it'll stop being aggressive and it'll be like, it'll remind you and you'll be like, we have it scheduled, and they'll be like, oh yeah, and it'll calm down versus like, no, do it, because you always put it off. You're creating a better relationship with your brain. So that is what I recommend, and give it a try. And if you've never tried something like that, try it and let me know how it goes, because I think it's helpful. So with that, happy Monday, and I'll see y'all next week.